Coach, why don't you just recap Saturday's exciting win and then maybe what your team's doing this week as they prepare for South Dakota?
You bet. Well, one of the probably the biggest differences that stands out when you think of the two games in the fall and the game the other night is the play of our offensive line. You know, it was we played much more physical. We played together. We were able to run the football. We were able to give quarterback time to make throws. We weren't 100%, obviously, on our protection, but so much improvement, so much better. Ryan at center played really physical, played fast. He had a lot of really good run blocks, did a great job in the middle in pass protection. Both of our tackles, I thought, really took steps forward from the previous week against Oklahoma State. It was good to see Kendrick Davis play physical. He's a guy we haven't talked a whole lot about. He came in in January, or no, he just came this summer as a graduate transfer from Division II school. We actually found him. I was scrolling through something about draftable Division small college players, and his name was on it, and I saw he was in the portal, so we started recruiting him, and we were able to get him here. And he really played physical, and I think he's just going to keep getting better because he's still a little bit unsure. A lot of times they have to help him out there on knowing exactly what to do. But it really stood out when you watch the video of how big of a difference it was physically up front from a year ago. And they're all the same guys. You know, they got really good D linemen. That's kind of how they play defenses, with great D linemen. And I thought our physicalness up front. We got really good play from our tight ends, and that offensively, I think, was a big part of the game. Defensively, we gave up some run game in the first half we weren't used to doing. Some of that had to do with our fits and where we were supposed to be on a coverage check. Actually, we kind of played coverage and not played the run like we're supposed to, so that hurt us early. They did make some adjustments at halftime. I thought really, helped us on the run. We gave up one big run, had an assignment error and a missed alignment, but I'm glad we did. I was able to run it in the end zone, we get the ball back, and have time to go score. So that was really the biggest question I had in the fourth quarter was, should we let them go score? Should we let them score? And we actually got in the situation. I thought we got in the situation twice, but the second time they ruled that he wasn't down on the 25. So it was interesting. I've never really been in that before. So I was glad they went and scored and gave us time to run the 2-minute drive. I was impressed with our effort as a team overall, and special teams and offense, defense. We played extremely hard all 4 quarters. I think that really stood out to me. We're not doing everything right yet. We got a lot of coaching to do. We got a lot of little things to fix. We certainly will fix the penalties. There's no reason for that. That's just not smart football play, and we need to be better than that. We need to be able to go celebrate with our teammate, take care of our teammates, and not worry about anything but that. So that'll get corrected for sure. But it was a good start. It was a very competitive game. It was a lot of fun, hard, long, exciting. Couldn't have a better football game. So thank God we won. It's a lot nicer being here with a smile on your face than if we would have lost the game. So I'm happy about that.
Going back and watching, defensively, it didn't seem just kind of as bad at the time when you're watching and seeing all the big plays happen, but there were the big plays. Just, what do you kind of attribute to some of that down the field?
Yeah, well, some of them we had great coverage, and they made a perfect throw and an unbelievable catch. Another time we had a guy doubled, and he made an unbelievable catch. So it's kind of one of those things where they make good plays too. We were in good shape. It's hard for us because in the fourth quarter, we're used to the defense just shutting everybody down, and that's how we won games in the spring. And basically, we almost gave up, almost 200 yards in the fourth quarter. When we had them backed up on the -2, I thought for sure we would be in great shape. And then they made a couple great throws, a couple great catches, then an assignment error let them run the ball in the end zone. And then the one catch for the touchdown. I don't know. I think I saw it on a highlight last night. Just about the same thing. The ball thrown low and behind, and the receiver stopping, making the catch, and running it in for the end zone. So I didn't really like being in the one-on-one matchup at that time, so we got to our prevent after that, and it helped us. We probably should have done that then. It's hard to do when there's 3 minutes left and 2 timeouts to think that you go to that, but we're good at it. You know, we've been good at it since we've put it in. We get pressure out of our 3-man rush, and we take away. It's hard to throw against when there's 3 deep and 5 under. It's just hard to throw against.
Xavier's play, 17 targets and just was catching almost everything. Just going back and watching that, how impressed were you?
Yeah, it's fun to watch because he's so competitive and he's you know, extremely talented. Does a great job with his footwork. Thought we could have got a couple more completions there. You know, a couple errant throws and a couple he needs to catch too. But certainly he had a huge effect on the game, and particularly down the line and making that run after the catch for the touchdown. And they were dropping, you know, 8 in that. So it had to be a perfect throw and a perfect catch because there wasn't a big window in there. And the timing was good. We were a little bit errant on the same play a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter to our left side. And the ball was a little bit low, and he's got to go down and make that catch, and the ball has to be thrown at his face mask, and we have another big play. When you watch the video, you see that we left some out there. You know, we had some touchdowns out there we didn't quite hit. Murray down the middle, we get the deep DPI, but if we make a good throw, it's a touchdown. So those things we've got to understand that we only get so many chances at it, take advantage of it, and make the play at the time.
Are you happy when one guy's targeted that much, or is it just the flow of the game and everything?
Yeah, I never pay attention to targeted. You know, we have progressions that we go through, and coverage a lot of times dictates where you go with the football, how you deliver it. So, you know, I don't even know what targeted means. I know how many catches he had.
So Braswell called his shot, told you he was going to run the kickback, and he did?
Well, yeah, I got on him the time before because he really didn't stay with the return. He came out of it and cut back towards the middle. Then watching the video, I know why, because it wasn't there. And he said, "I got you, Coach. I'll do it this time." And he hit it for a touchdown. You know, it was well blocked. We had some really good blocks on it. We had some great efforts on it. A couple guys that got 2 blocks on the play. And then his ability just to hit it full speed and stay in. You know, that's the biggest thing about a kick returner is you got to get to full speed right now, and then you got to be able to cut full speed to get touchdowns. There's no dancing around and no, you know, any of that on kickoff return. It's hit it full speed, make one cut. That's why a lot of being a great kickoff returner is courage, and he's a very courageous player.
Did he say he was going to drop it first and then pick it up?
No, he didn't tell me that. So when he dropped it, I was a little bit, you know, no, really, I just saw him drop it, and I thought, oh, no. And then it was, thank you. Just how we planned it.
Coach, how can this help the team to fall behind in the fourth quarter after kind of dominating the whole game and then come back and win it? I mean, is this like another bit of confidence that the guys can take as they move to the rest of the season? Or?
I think the belief in keep playing hard, the belief that we had on the sideline with the offense when we said, hey, let's take the field and go score. You know, they really believed it and went out and made it happen. First way to be successful is believe you're going to be successful. So I think that's a huge thing to be able to carry with you down the road is the believing that 4 quarters and never give up and keep fighting and make the plays to win the game.
Lamondre is still being targeted a lot. Of course, this week he's covering an All-American wide receiver. He's covered a good receiver at Oklahoma State. Just where have you seen that growth? Because he did make some plays, but some plays also went against him.
Yeah, it's a lonely job out there on the edge, and when you got Braswell on one side and you're a freshman, they're going to come after you. You got to admire his toughness, his competitiveness, his ability. You know, he's gone and went against 2 really good throwers, deep ball throwers, and really good wide receivers, and held his own. You know, he's given up a couple plays, and he's made some plays, got an interception, lost his brain when he got the interception, but he got an interception. But, you know, he's a competitive guy. He's going to be a great player before it's over with. There's no doubt about that. He's got all the skills you want. He's got a short memory. that's one of the biggest things in being a defensive back, is to have a short memory, and the most important play is the next one. So, you know, you watch him and you see all his production and everything that he did on the field. He really played a good game. He just gave up a couple plays that they made great plays on.
You've touched on the unsportsmanlikes and just some of those penalties. They're celebratory after big plays. Just kind of, how do you kind of go about that with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's not something that we accept. You know, I'm not really sure about the fist up and fourth down. Everyone in America does that. I don't see how that's a taunting, they called it, penalty. So that one I don't really buy in. The other one were penalties on us. You know, some of it's reaction. They catch the second guy, and then obviously, like I said, LJ should have. Someone should have tackled him, is what they should have done. One of our other players should have tackled him in the end zone when he went brain dead.
Coach, you've mentioned a few areas of things that you're concerned about as, like, you went back and watched a game, like the penalties and the big plays. What stands out to you the most about going into the bye week and saying, oh, we've definitely got to address that going in?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to continue to work and get better on our technique, better on our alignments. We had a few alignment errors on defense that hurt us. Not getting exactly where we need to be, and not getting there quick enough. But we played a good football team now. They're a good football team, and they're well coached, and they're real physical. So I think that helps us a lot, is to play a game like that and come out on top, and still not feel like you played, you know, your best game, perfect game. So you just keep working and improving, and you know, we get to watch the video today, get to see the things we did really well, like running full speed to the ball, playing with great effort, playing more physical up front on the O-line. And there's a lot of good things on the video to watch. And then you see where, you know, the game could have been over before those plays in the fourth quarter. So we left some stuff out there.
A little more time for Dimitri this weekend. What did you see from him, and how do you feel about him going forward?
Yeah, he really improved, had a good game, was productive, you know. I think he had like 5 tackles, an assisted tackle, maybe one for behind the line of scrimmage. So he did a good job. He's getting better, and he looks more physical, and you know, he's got to come out and practice better. You know, have really good practices and get into it. And I think before it's over with, you're just going to see him get more and more involved. You know, Farron's still playing good, and Will's made some really good plays in there too. But you know, some of our things in the run game are getting the front set right and getting in the right positions, and you know, our linebackers are in charge of that.
Or anything else for Coach?
What do you do this week? Or what's kind of the...
Yeah, we're going to practice hard, get after it. You know, go back to camp, go back to some of the drills we do in camp, and get better individually. Work really hard on today will be our normal conditioning, but work real physical on Tuesday, Wednesday, cut it back a little bit Thursday, a little bit cut back even a little bit more on Friday. I'm not going to, you know, leave it all on the practice field, but we've got to improve and continue to get better. Work a little bit more on our kickoff coverage team. You know, we're so used to getting the ball kicked exactly where it's supposed to be, and then when we don't, into the wind, we didn't do a good job of covering. That really hurt us, 2 returns they had, so we'll get better there too.
When do you start from South Dakota? You start that?
We're starting now.
Okay.
We're already going on them right now as far as game planning and everything. So, but we don't practice the full practice against South Dakota. We'll do some things, ones versus ones, and get back to some drills that we like, that we utilized in our camp.
Zach, since Petrino's been here, you've been playing more of that nickel corner role, and you've been playing with your hair on fire, blitzing, making plays in the passing game. You had 2 big, a pass breakup and a tackle on 3rd down. What can you say about, you know, your new like emergence and new passion I see you playing with?
I give it up to Coach Beard. He definitely put me in this position where he's able to let me play how I should be and how I am, just aggressive and just utilizing those opportunities, make the best of it.
How much does it mean to you to be here? I mean, you left for a little bit, thinking that you were going to transfer, but they opened the door back up for you, and now you're starting in the nickel and just making an impact. Just how much does it mean to you?
It's definitely a blessing. When I had a meeting with Coach Petrino to get back on the team, that was like definitely like savior to me. Like I was very blessed for the opportunity to be able to come back.
Do you even imagine it? Just like you didn't intend to be here during the spring or right now?
I wasn't supposed to. I actually went up to Pitt State to sign my papers, and that was the same day that they were having the meeting. And luckily, I didn't sign the papers up at Pitt State, and then came back, had a meeting with Coach P, and he gave my scholarship back.
You've been practicing with some of the corners, and you are, but I mean, just Mondre being the young guy. Just what are you seeing in him? Just kind of his growth and everything throughout these first few weeks.
He's definitely puts up to what he talks about. He's definitely going to do what he says. And just like Coach P was saying, he's like, he has a short memory. And next play is the best play, most important play. So he like really stepped up to play the role and hasn't let anybody down at all.
Do I see him on Twitter call himself the Reaper?
Yeah.
Does he go by that in the locker room?
He
Or
does. Everybody jokes around with him. But yeah, that's the Reaper. He's a crazy one. So you see it on the field too.
My big hit at the 2-point conversion.
Exactly. He's not scared of anything. He puts it all on the table.
Yeah, are you allowed to have a nickname as a true freshman? I didn't think that was.
Hey, as long as you show up to it and really put out, you can do whatever.
I mean, if you're starting, I guess you can.
Exactly.
You can have whatever nickname you want.
Exactly.
Ron, we've kind of joked around about Suliafu returning that kick return. Just, what was that kind of like on your end, watching that happen? And do you want to see him with the ball in his hands more?
Yeah, definitely. Coach told him after the game he had to lose a couple pounds. So I was telling him, man, he could play running back if you ain't 300 pounds. But I actually like stopped and looked back, and he caught the ball. I didn't even block anybody because I was confused. I looked back and he stiff-armed me half of the whole team on the ground. I'm like, dang. And I was waiting for them to blow the whistle. He was just still over there stiff-arming everybody. So yeah, it was pretty funny at the time. But
A big difference in kickoffs between that one and then the one that Montre took to the house. What was like your assignment on that play, and what did you see as it developed as he was running down the sideline?
So the first one, when he cut it back, that was me and my teammates' assignment that we missed because he was running away from us. So he's the one that came free, the reason why he cut it back. But on the one he took to the house, we got him. We got him. We kicked him out of the picture, and then Braswell just cut up the side of us. And it was a good feeling, you know. It's a good feeling when you block and they score on that play. You know, it's almost better than scoring a touchdown, honestly.
You kind of had one of those plays where you're pushing people off of you too for a big first down there. Just kind of when you know like the game's kind of on the line there in the fourth quarter, you're just trying to get those first downs. Just kind of what's going through your head when you're running, just trying to get to the first down.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, well, coaches had the saying, hold the rope, and our defense, they've been holding the rope for us all season, all spring. So I was just telling the whole line, we got to hold the rope. You know, we got to hold the rope for the defense today. And yeah, that's all that was going through my head. I had to get that first down, keep the drive going. So that's all I'm thinking about, really.
Zach, what's it kind of like to know that you have an offense that's able to drive down the field and score now? Because because it was all on you guys on the defense recently.
Yeah, well, I didn't play in the spring, so just have this feeling come out this year compared to last fall. It feels amazing just knowing that they're going to do everything they can and protect us just like how we're going to protect them on the field. So that's a good feeling.
You said you didn't play in the spring. Are you looking forward to the Valley Football Conference now?
I definitely am. Definitely am. I was out since like October last year, so this is first time playing football in dang near a year. So it feels good to just come back to it, knowing that conference play is going to be so much more physical and it's going to be a lot of competition out there.
Ron, the offensive line did look pretty good the other night, and you're along that as well. Just what have you noticed in that group as you stick around with them sometimes a lot?
So I think in the spring, we were kind of new. There was a lot of new, like, we just transferred in, you know. So I was kind of like out there, kind of playing hesitant along with some of the old linemen as well. So we did good for people that were new. But I think we're more comfortable, like just with anything, like just with a new job. Once you get more comfortable, that you get more confident in knowing your assignment, knowing different looks, and I think we prepared well during the week as well. It wasn't perfect, but it can always be better.
This new look, confidence-wise in the offense, you guys seemed like once you got on the field, you felt like you were going to go down and score there with the final drive of the game. Do you feel that new confidence that maybe you didn't have there in the spring, that you're able to go drive down there and score when you need to?
Definitely. I mean, I felt like that in the spring too, but I feel it more in the fall. I mean, throughout the game, we didn't feel like we were losing, even though we were down sometimes. We were confident the whole time. Like fourth quarter, nobody thought about the clock or anything. We just played our game. Honestly.
How's Jason kind of changed things in that huddle for you guys?
I mean, he changed a lot because he's a mature guy. You know, he's a bit older, so he's more mature. Knows how to run the huddle, and he does a good job. You know, saying my bad, you know, and letting people know when it's their bad. You know, and they got to make that catch, got to make that block. So, yeah, he's a good leader for sure.
You're going out for all these passes, and a lot of these targets are going to Xavier. Are you happy when you're seeing all those going his way? It seems like it's the right choice a lot of the time.
Obviously, it's a progression, you know, and I guess, you know, if all those targets going to him, I guess they still don't want to cover him, so, you know, I'll throw it there too, you know what I mean? So if he's open, throw it to him, you know. And if we're winning, none of that matters to me personally. You know, the targets and stuff, that don't matter. As long as we're winning as a team, then
What
I'm happy with that.
what about having a week off? Would you guys rather play after that kind of a win, or would you, I mean, Zack, what do you think?
I definitely wish we could play. That's just me being out for a whole year, so I've been missing football. But yeah, I mean, it gives us a week to really prepare ourselves, get better internally, and just be able to look ourselves in the mirror and move on to the next game, next week.
Zack, on defense, you guys have kind of given up some big passing performances in back-to-back weeks. What's like the message from Coach Beard and the corners coach and the overall mentality in the room, knowing that you guys have given up some big performances through the air so far?
Our mentality hasn't changed at all. You know, good players are gonna make good plays. So, and obviously they're at another D1 for the same reason we're here too. So they're on scholarship just like us. They can make plays. So we're just gonna stay true to ourselves and move on to the next one because can't do anything about the past. So.
How much of that Whittingham guy talk? Seems like a talker.
He didn't really talk much. I try to stay away from talking too much on the field anymore. I'm trying to grow up, but so I'm trying to calm down on that. So I don't try not to pay attention to any of that. Celebrate with my teammates and everything.
How hard's that as a corner? Because you got to have a different kind of mentality as a corner.
I mean, ever since I came back from surgery, I can tell my mentality like a little bit changed. So I was like, at first I wasn't as confident, but I'm definitely starting to get it back more. I can tell it like peek through sometimes, but I just try to keep my composure, stay true, celebrate my teammates because that's all that's gonna matter.